What is up, In the Loop fans? It is Drew here at Six Flags Over Georgia. 50 years of thrills. Joined by Fabian.
How you guys doing?
It is a brisk 51 degrees out today here in Augusta, Georgia. We're going to check out Six Flags Over Georgia. It is spring break, so you can see the park isn't even open for another like 30 minutes. And there are lines to get in and into the park, which we are going to have to join here in a second. I assume you already have your ticket?
Yes, I do.
Buy it online. Makes sense to buy it in line, save some time, save some money.
Correct.
So we're gonna jump on in, see what we can find, have a good time, and ride some rides. So we're hanging out on the Georgia Cyclone rope drop side. We're gonna head to this guy, the VR drop tower, when it finally opens. But you can see the masses are here. It's spring break. The park's been closed a couple days due to terrible weather, and now they just have casually okay weather, and so it's open. You've never been to Six Flags before?
No, I have not. So I'm very interested in seeing all these, especially since I haven't done a VR before. So this drop coaster is gonna be definitely something interesting.
First up today, Drop of Doom, powered by Samsung Gear VR. There's acrophobia with the VR goggles on. The way it works is they kind of pass around a cart that offers VR to some people. We did not see a whole lot of takers on this first round. In fact, I think these are the only two on the entire ride doing VR.
Very few.
Very few. But they spin around, and I'm curious what they're gonna be looking at. But yeah, Jesus, nobody's doing it.
Literally only 3 people doing VR.
We look kind of into the sun, so to see the drop towers up there, ready to drop. Makes a terrifying noise as they come down. And we are. And only posting a 5-minute wait right now. We just got off of Drop of Doom VR, and that was terrible.
You don't anticipate it. The VR was not synced properly. My guy was just shooting the ground because I stood on the ground.
We never left the ground.
Never did. So I'm not sure if it's just an issue that they're having with the syncage, because that's not the first set of headsets we had to get through. We went through 2 before we got the right one. That's probably sunk. Well, thought that was probably sunk.
Did you have problems with your first headset?
I did. My first one was good, but I believe you had an issue with yours. It was not facing correctly.
Yeah, my first headset had the desktop of a cell phone.
Okay.
So that didn't work out, but God, it wasn't very. I can't believe we didn't leave the ground. That was the thing that blew my mind.
It kind of was disappointing.
Let's wander down this way. It very much surprised me. I thought we were going to go up. I don't know where the spiders come from in all their advertisement, because there sure as hell were no spiders in our shot.
None whatsoever.
No spiders, right?
None. I'm not sure if our helicopter was defective and just didn't want to leave the ground, but we definitely did.
That ride really hurts my nuts.
Yes, the seating is probably by far the uncomfortablest seating I've had on a drop tower, and I've done a few my day.
I think the fact that I can't see how high I am eliminated the creepiness of the ride.
Yes, it did. It made it not as intense as it feeling versus having a VR headset, well, with a VR headset than I would normally, because you can see the distance you are up, but you do not get that factor when you're wearing VR, that's for sure.
Big thumbs down. Big thumbs down from you?
Yes, I have to agree. Thumbs down. On top of I wear glasses, as you can see, but when I was trying to focus, I could not get a good focus. I got something decent, but not what I expected. Not a clear view.
All right, so thumbs down. Let's see if your day can improve.
I hope so. Six Flags Day, right?
Yep. All right, friends, so we just got off Wonder Woman's Flight School, a Larson flyer. Seems like every park's been building these recently. Have you ever been on one of these before?
No, it's my first time on a Larson flyer.
I mean, I love these.
More enjoyable than the drop tower so far.
But it was. We know anything by Larson is a good thing. And you actually picked it up pretty well your first time. Saw you sideways a couple times.
Yes, I was. It's like drifting in the air.
I like it.
Picked up some speed. It's enjoyable.
Nice and new. Good times. Entering Gotham City. Entering the creepy sewer tunnel. Echo! It echoes in here. Echo! Hello!
Right camera, wait!
Woo! It's security camera and reveals Batman the Ride. Yeah. They do not want you to go get your hat.
Nope, if you lose your hat, you lose it. Get a new one.
And that was Batman the Ride. Obviously, there's several of those around the world. This one is blue. This one, I really like it. So Fabian has just recently discovered his passion for the theme park industry and rides. I dragged him along for this Death March adventure. What time did we get up this morning?
I got up at 2:45 a.m. It is now approximately like almost 11 o'clock.
Drove through the night to get here.
Yes, through the morning.
And we work tomorrow back in Florida.
Yes, we do. First thing in the morning, 7 a.m.
So it's going to be an interesting day. We're probably going to get a little loopy by the end of it. Get it? Loopy. But good times. Hat on the Batman.
Welcome back. Please go to the right to put a full entity shot.
So we just got done on Mindbender, and it seems like now it's down for some technical difficulties. We got stuck on the lift. Yeah. It was pretty sweet. So we hung out there for a couple of minutes. It was a nice day to be stuck, but I love this ride. I mean, the pond doesn't look as pretty as it once did, but it had a waterfall down there. Lots of good moments of airtime. 2 really powerful loops. And fun, and you can see the maintenance vehicles are there. So hopefully they get that back up and running, because this is definitely something we're gonna want to do again later. Mindbender, what'd you think?
Enjoyable. I had a great time, and it's what an experience, that's for sure.
So you thought it was gonna be rough?
It looks a little rough. It has some age to it, and it shows. But
what made you think it was gonna be rough?
Just the aging on it, because it definitely looks a little older than some of the other things in the park, and it just.
It's definitely older, yeah.
A little rough, but it's actually smoother than by far smoother than I expected.
And you got some good airtime.
Oh yeah, definitely. My butt came off the seat a few times, about 3 times, so I enjoyed it.
All right. So question.
Yes.
Is that a roller coaster?
How is that a roller coaster? No, it's not even close.
So you would say if you were marketed a new roller coaster and you got that, would you be disappointed?
Highly disappointed. I would by far not do that ride if it's marketed as a roller coaster. That's not even close to what a roller coaster should be.
Yeah, Six Flags not a roller coaster. And diving. Woo! Last year this ride obviously had its VR. It was the VR ride of last year. I didn't mind it. It was okay. Definitely better when the VR was on this versus the drop tower. But no VR, so we're gonna try it out. The Gerstlauer Eurofighter Daredevil Dive. Alright, coming off Daredevil Dive now. I like these Eurofighters. I think they're kind of fun. It's the lap bar Eurofighter with your vertical lift, beyond vertical drop. What'd you think?
I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was a great experience. It's the first one ever for me. Definitely the first drop where you go inward and then back out for the first drop is definitely an interesting feeling I haven't felt before. Definitely quick and easy and enjoyable. It was definitely a good ride. Recommend it.
Good times. Now it's time for this guy, Goliath.
I did this.
And heading down the Goliath exit ramp. I gotta say, she's running a little rough. Not as smooth as I remember Goliath.
It's a good ride, a little rough like you mentioned, but definitely a good ride. Except the downward helix at the end, so you turn back into the park, is really fun. I enjoyed that motion quite a bit.
You got the forces there, you also have the support bowl, you kind of want to go and just kind of duck underneath it. This is probably my favorite of all of the B&M hypercoasters. It's our second ride today, both in the back. And our second ride, dramatically better than our first one.
much better than the first one, I have to agree. I'm not sure if it's just because it's warmer. There was no, how would I say, there was no dragging through the ride towards the end. It was a consistent speed the entire ride, and we have more airtime than before.
Yes,
which is
lots more airtime. So on the first time we rode it, we hit a gust of wind. Oh God, did I zoom in the wrong airtime hill? No, you just can't see it, just the tree. But right there, that big airtime hill, the third hill on the ride, we had a big gust of wind, and it slowed the train dramatically. There was no
it was
force,
much colder at that time.
no forces in the helix and all that. Well, now, a couple hours later, it's warmer, and man, that ride was incredible. To me, that performs as the best B&M hypercoaster I have ever been on. Better than Mako, better than Nitro, better than Apollo's Cherry, better than them all. Because it's fantastic. And it gives you great views of downtown Atlanta. Someone lost a park map, which was funny because we tried to catch it. And I realized it was park map, didn't care anymore. What do you think?
It was definitely an enjoyable ride. I like it more than the other B&M hypercoaster, which is Mako. It's the other one I've done. So
say it tops the Mako?
Yeah, definitely. Mako looks nicer, but this is definitely a much more enjoyable ride. But Mako's also newer, so.
Did you lose your quarter?
I did not lose a quarter. Kept it in my pocket the entire time.
That's good. This is pretty sweet. I have no idea if this has been here for a while or whatnot, but Angus G. Wynn, innovator and friend, founder of Six Flags Over Georgia. What a nice guy. He created this park. One of the original 3 Six Flags parks. History right there. All right, just got off the Monster Mansion, formerly known as Monster Plantation. I love this ride. It's cheesy dark ride goodness. It's got a little bit of a boat backup right now, which is not that great. What'd you think? Monster Mansion.
It was good. It's a little unique ride, a little boat ride through the little mansion of monsters. I like the fact that there's a little baby flying on a balloon that says "Have a Six Flags Day."
Yes. Are we having a Six Flags Day?
Always having a Six Flags Day.
And that's little oogles. Yeah. Did you understand the plot?
No clue what was going on.
Yeah.
From my understanding, you're like having a party and you walk around town, then you get lost, and then and then you come back into town.
That's what I've noticed. So I didn't really understand what's going on, but I love it. Y'all come back here. Woohoo! Superman Ultimate Flight. The first of the Superman clones and America's first B&M flying roller coaster. Rode it twice, front row ride and the back row ride. I gotta say, that is a really intense pretzel loop. I think I am gonna go out here and say this pretzel loop is more intense than both Tatsu and Manta. Fabian here has never been on Tatsu, but he has ridden Manta, and
I have. Manta's my first flying coaster, which is definitely more. It's definitely a different ride from this, being that there's more inversions than this one. There's only 2 inversions on this. The first pretzel loop and the barrel at the end. A great experience, and I definitely noticed more G-forces. We rode the back and the front, and the all-around G-forces were almost similar throughout the entire train, unlike Manta's where it's only towards the back.
But you go flopping on this pretzel loop in the front row. You come up here and there's like negative G-forces, so you're floating, and then you get pulled around, and then you have positives again, and then you hit another pop of airtime up there. It was really neat and different.
Yes.
I also love that this is such a terrain coaster.
It's built into the side of the cliff, which is really nice.
You interact with it there, you interact with it there, over here, you interact with it with the lift. It is awesome. And also gotta say, holy crap, this team is killing it.
Yeah, they're moving pretty quick for having 2 trains, and they're manually locking their harnesses.
It's not that anyone really understands what you mean by that, but that's
whatsoever.
okay. But we noticed that they were manually locking, and we were like, is that allowed? That's really sweet. Oh, so good. So what do you got? Manta or Superman Ultimate Flight? Which one do you like better?
Oh man, I like Manta because there's more inversions, but I like this because it's a slightly intenser ride.
You know what my favorite part of Superman is? The wing dip splashdown.
Yeah?
Yeah. But paint job looks great. The ride was killing it. And I can't believe how efficient it was. Alright, so I am a souvenir cup guy. If anyone's seen my kitchen, it's decorated out. Most of you have not seen my kitchen. We have 13 million views on YouTube, and maybe 30 people ever have been in my apartment, so most of you have not seen my kitchen. But it's decorated with these, so no exception, had to get it today. It comes with unlimited refills today, or you can get the yellow one, which comes with the all-season refills. But we're just here for the day, so we got this one. Here it goes now. It wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. Wasn't bad at all. And so we just got off the Dahaga
Whatever mine train.
Dahaga mine train. I assume that's some Georgian term. I love the fact that it's an old school arrow, and as you can see by my excellent camera skills and zooming, it's just welded together. It's not bolted, it's welded. You know, I remember this ride being worse. The people behind us did not like it as much, but we were in row 2 and it was okay. It wasn't as rough as I expected. And you know what? It was okay. Your thoughts?
Good, the seats could use a little padding, but other than that, honestly, it's not that bad of a ride, at least where we sat. Probably the further back you get, the rougher it gets, but it's pretty smooth. It's a pretty old ride from my understanding, so I mean, it's probably still sticking around. It's definitely unique, especially since you go through the coaster house, or what is the coaster house, before you even go down, you know, after the first leave the station, so unique.
Would you remove this to build something better?
Would I? Depending what it was, yes. If it was the Joker ride, no.
No,
that's not a roller coaster.
So if it wasn't a Larson Looper?
If it's a Larson Looper, then no.
No.
But if we're talking about another big coaster of some sort, then probably yes. Because they have quite a bit of room, and it's quite a long ride, surprisingly, for being, you know, such
3
an old
lifts.
one. Yeah. 3 lifts and a few little drives.
And we just got off the Georgia Cyclone. You know, I think this ride is a lot of fun. Sections like way in the back over here have been improved with the addition of topper track. That's not part that has topper track though. But there are sections that have had topper track added to it, which are great. The airtime is fun. The ride is pretty rough and it kind of jerks you around a little bit. It looks like it's gotten kind of rough to the point where the ride sort of loses momentum now in places. But overall, fun. This has now been the second wooden coaster you have ridden.
Yes, this is correct. I've only ridden 2 in my time. The one in Tampa, what used to be Tampa Busch Gardens, which is no longer there, which is demolished.
What's there? It's just
Quasi, which doesn't run.
It's like a lawn ornament.
Yes, Quasi is the only other one I've ridden. So I enjoyed it. Definitely shows its age, but it's definitely enjoyable, that's for sure. A good airtime, like we mentioned. Recommend it.
Speaking of good airtime, there's going to be good airtime here in just a second. These people right here in the back, yeah, for airtime there. But this was the part I was talking about. The train really struggled. Nope, that's a lie. That was not what I was talking about. Just kidding. It's the one below it where the train really struggled.
Some people over here in some Congo River rapid kind of ride. They look like they're about to get really wet over here. They did a good job. They soaked them all. And they're still going. Oh my God. What a trip. They're getting soaked. They don't seem too thrilled. It's still a high of a 60 today. So that sucks for them. All right, we have the Blue Hawk and
Steam machine.
the steam machine.
Scream machine.
Scream machine right behind it, and they just drop down the hill as the Blue Hawk goes slowly up that hill, creeping its way all the way to the top. Oh man. That's the next one we're doing on the list.
Now here's my question. Would you drive all the way from Chicago to ride this?
Wow, that's what a drop. But no, I mean, it's quite a long drive, and there's plenty of other theme parks on the way, which may have better rides.
So the reason I ask is because this is the roller coaster they traveled far and wide for in the new Vacation movie.
Really?
Yes. Only it's called the Velociraptor.
Yeah, I know.
They just changed the names then.
Yeah.
Well, definitely looks enjoyable, that's for sure. Good thing we only drove a few hours.
So, normally that kind of thing means there's a bad well. Hopefully that's not what that means. Just got off Blue Hawk and, man, I was expecting that to suck, and it didn't suck. It didn't suck in the slightest.
They don't even have a greeter.
No, most rides don't.
I just noticed that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was genuinely, pleasantly amazed how good that ride was. The new trains, which was the new paint job. It made a fun layout, and it didn't bang my head, it didn't hurt. The thing is incredible, and there's so many head choppers. That's a giant stuffed animal. I had no complaints. What about you? Blue Hawk.
Great. It's quite enjoyable.
Exceeded your expectations?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Totally expected my expectations. The only thing was slow lift hill.
Yeah, extremely slow. I'm pretty sure I could have ran it faster than we're going up.
Been like Rocky.
Yep, just like Rocky.
Oh, right. If you guys want to know a flat ride that creeps me out, it's the Sky Screamer. This one is, I believe, 240 feet tall from the ground. It's 200 feet up there, though, like by Goliath's height. The park has weird height requirements. The tallest point in the park can only be 200 feet off the ground, which is why this one is further down here in the lower side of the park. So it's only the same height as Goliath, only this was 240 feet from here. Interesting fun fact. They obviously make these that are bigger, but it's creeped me out. It's really windy today. Like, here, just to give you a wind reader here. That's the flag. And it's blowing. I like Star Flyers. I think they are fun, and I enjoyed it.
I agree. I've done several of these, some of them at the fair, which is definitely more sketchier than this, but they don't go nearly as tall. It's very daunting. When you get up there, the wind is really blowing. You can feel yourself being blown around a little bit, but it's an enjoyable ride.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't believe me on that flag, look at these flags over here. There's more than 6 of them, that's for sure.
Yes, there is.
But this thing's really blowing. But I like it. I was afraid I was going to lose my glasses. A lady on the cycle in front of us was afraid, or lost her hat, so definitely some lost things come flying. Sky Screamer. The Great American Scream Machine. Six Flags Over Georgia version, the wooden coaster version, the one that's still here. I in the past have also kind of crapped on this ride. It flooded one time, and so this part was underwater, and so was that part. We sat in the front row. I almost feel guilty about sitting in the front row. We have Flash Pass, and Flash Pass goes up the exit, and you just pick where you want to sit. So I walked in, and we sat in the front row. The front row had a way longer line than everybody else. So imagine every other train, someone steals the front row for Flash Pass. So we were no different. We did that as well.
Advantages of Flash Pass.
Minute of Flash Pass. Third wooden roller coaster ever for you.
Yes.
Is it? Do you like this one better?
Better per se is not a hard word to use. I wouldn't use that word better. I enjoyed it just as much. I thought it was a little smoother than the previous wooden coaster towards the front. I don't know what it's called, White Lightning or whatever it may be, or
the Georgia Cyclone.
Yeah, that one, the Georgia Cyclone.
Yes.
But it definitely is definitely a fun ride. It felt like just a wooden hypercoaster, essentially, is what it is.
Yeah, just it's an out and back style roller coaster where it leaves and then comes back. It's got lots of little funny hops on it. Good fun.
When you coming into the, as you come into the, just like last break, this building's kind of low, which is a little scary.
Yeah.
You would have had your hands up, it would definitely lose a finger.
You definitely have a little bit of a head chopper there. Overall, enjoyed it.
Yeah. So far, it's been a great day here at Six Flags Over Georgia. It's a beautiful day. Could not ask for any better weather.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, I wish it was a little warmer in the morning so I didn't double jacket, but
yes.
What can I say? You've got the Blue Hawk, you've got the Great American Scream Machine, you've got the Sky Screamer. What a day. Alright, so we just got off the Georgia Scorcher. And we're going to walk and talk with this one because the music here is really, really loud.
Yes, copyright's a thing, you know,
Yeah.
YouTube sucks, but it's alright, it happens.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's too many people recording things off of their TV and posting it onto YouTube.
Yeah,
that
claiming the
this kind of
rights.
thing happens. So while we talk about Georgia Scorcher, I want to tell you this is one of my favorite parts of this park. It's this ivy tunnel.
Right now a little lackluster because, you know, it's not time of year, but
it's chilly.
I can just imagine it's season.
But season, it's awesome. So totally dig that. But Georgia Scorcher, stand-up roller coaster. You've never been on one before?
No, that was my first. Definitely an interesting feeling. I like the fact, I can see where it could be uncomfortable, but I like the fact where if you do it right, it's a pretty good ride. It's intense. You feel the forces on you as like you're standing up, so it's definitely a good ride.
Yeah.
I recommend it if you haven't tried one before. I hear some other ones are not as good, but you know.
Yeah,
never
I
know.
mean, the Georgia Scorcher is definitely my favorite of all of the B&M stand-up roller coasters, which,
You've ridden a few too right here.
yeah, but saying my favorite of the B&M stand-up coasters is kind of the equivalent of, I don't know. It's not necessarily a compliment. I'm not a huge fan of the whole concept, but that one is the best of the worst, I guess.
Yeah. It's better than Drop of Doom, that's for sure.
God, that was terrible.
I can't get over the fact. I'm glad that was the first one we did and then it saved it for last.
Can you imagine if we stood in line for that?
I would have been highly disappointed. Good thing it was a 5-minute wait for us.
Yeah, we heard a lot of good things about Drop of Doom, and apparently now we've gone back and done some research, and apparently it malfunctioned for us.
Maybe.
I don't know, it was still dumb.
Yeah.
But overall, can't complain about our day so far.
So far, so good. Small issues with the flash pass, but that's another thing separately. So
Yeah,
other than that, I can't complain. It's a beautiful day in Georgia. So
it is. That it is. If X marks the spot,
we found it.
what we did, but what spot is that marking? Do you think this is the furthest something has flown off Goliath?
I don't think so, unless somebody threw it.
I don't know.
Or maybe, you know, there's something coming in the works.
Yeah.
And their map is getting out. Who knows?
Mystery X. So we just rode the Joker Funhouse coaster, which completes the coaster lineup. Got all of the rides in today. I like it as the Joker. It's not really a whole lot different than Wile E. Coyote. In fact, it still has some of that Wile E. Coyote theming to it. Like these Acme towers, they're just painted differently. But the front looks great. And I love how the ride just kind of interacts with the terrain. It's kind of like Phantom's Revenge, the kids coaster. And there it goes, just diving down. As far as kids coasters, not bad. As far as kids coasters,
I enjoy it thoroughly. It was better than Hippogriff and the Express of Shamu.
yeah, man. How sad is our life has come to that we've been ranking
Kid coasters.
kids coasters. I don't know, but that rounds out all of the rides we have today. The Coca-Cola store. I wonder what's in here. Now, obviously, you have the World of Coke in Atlanta, where you can check that out on our YouTube channel. It's also there. But we got Coke things going on here. So the large Coke bottles are $17 and up. I guess depending on the things. It's cool. How about this shirt? I rode all them rides. How about that? Is that actually something people say, or because of the lady on Dr. Phil? Or the girl on Dr.
That
Phil?
girl made that saying what it is now.
But I assume other people said it. She's not creative enough to make it up off the top of her head.
Well, she just said the phrasing and then they changed it to fit their need. Also, look at my dad.
My dad. Ooh.
Interesting society.
This guy flexed and his sleeves fell off. 6 Flags Over Georgia. I saw these two over here. I heard my bad boy, and she's with me. How about that? He's with me. How about that? Like a boss. Goliath merchandise. Be a Goliath, not a chicken. And this one's just a yellow shirt. Just kidding. So it actually has. Flip it around here. I'm not a chicken, or I am a chicken. It's funny.
Those who don't ride.
Yeah. Or for those who wouldn't call off work today to come to Six Flags.
Nate.
Sam. John.
Who else? We can name them all.
Yeah. Which might be the funniest shirt. Please keep your arms inside the coaster at all times. Thanks. Six Flags Over Georgia. Crap. Would you wear that?
That shirt, it's the only merchandise so far that I would be feasibly buy.
All right, and with that, we say goodbye to Georgia, Six Flags Over Georgia, and all of the goodness that we have here, especially the sky, poking up over the sky right there, Goliath. Right, and as we walk out of the park with a giant view of Goliath here, which comes basically out to the front promenade of the park. You got the Georgia Cyclone right there. But that concludes our day here at Six Flags. My 10th or 11th time here. I love this park. It's one of my favorite Six Flags. I think it's pretty. I think it doesn't feel like a Six Flags park. Especially now that new Superman Midway, because my biggest problem was that Superman Midway before, and now it's really pretty, so I can't complain about that. Also, biggest change for me is Blue Hawk over Ninja. Blue Hawk was awful. Ninja was fantastic. Or Blue Hawk was great. Ninja was always awful. So that is a big change for me. I love watching Goliath. It's one of the best parts about this park is that this ride is just out in the parking lot. All right, Fabian, what do you think of this park here today? This is your first time at Six Flags. This is really your first time that you can kind of remember a time at Six Flags. You went to Village Gardens many years
ago, but honestly don't recall much of it other than the water park part they had, which was very enjoyable during the summers when it's hot in Colorado. So I had a fantastic day. I mean, well worth the experience, you know. We did a day drive, a day trip, well worth it.
What was your favorite ride?
Favorite ride? Oh man. I enjoyed, I say Goliath is probably my number one, and then I liked the Great American Six Flags wooden coaster in the back.
The Great American Scream Machine, the wooden coaster in the back.
The great, that one was really enjoyable, especially since, you know, we stole the first row.
Yeah, we did. Stole it.
So it was definitely enjoyable, and I also like...
I know you liked this guy over here, the Georgia Scorcher.
Yeah, the Scorcher, the stand-up coaster, which it was a different experience for me. I've never had one, and I've been on one like that, so it was definitely enjoyable. Those are probably my top three that I enjoyed.
Yeah, great visit here. I love where we parked. I know I've shared this on another video. I have no idea how much of this audio is coming out, how much this audio is going to have to be retuned now that we're walking. But this is where we like to park, in this lot over here, across the street from the main entrance, rather than all the way down there where the main entrance is. So, and we have to be trammed in. So I love parking there. I love everything about Six Flags Over Georgia. It's a great time. I recommend coming out here. And I gotta say, the employees seemed happier this year than in years past. I feel like the teams are being more efficient, especially that Superman team.
The Superman team was rocking it today.
Rocking it, absolutely killing it.
Yeah, there's no complaints whatsoever.
So we had a good time. Thank you for watching this video and all of the other YouTube videos. We have 3 from this trip, so I don't know if you haven't seen all of them. There will be 3 videos from this trip. Thanks for watching them. like, subscribe, comment, make fun of us, especially make fun of Fabian and all of the silly things he says.
Half the stuff I don't know what I'm talking
He's
about.
totally not a coaster boy.
Nope. But I definitely enjoy it.
Yes. Follow me on Twitter, DrewTheIntern, and we will see you guys on the Midway.